Okay, this is my third test video. Excuse my allergies. I've had this for like 20 years. It's not COVID or any crap like that. I don't know if it's just because I don't drink enough water or what, but I've had this thing, so forgive me for that. Anyhow, I am starting a new thing. I've been thinking about doing something similar to this. I was a former YouTuber. I started YouTubing 5 years before Google bought YouTube, and then 5 years thereafter, it's been nothing but a nightmare. And then in 2017, they terminated my account. So, I haven't really done any YouTubes since. It's now 2011. I put up a couple videos, but mostly I've been advertising on Facebook. But now the Facebook has taken the communist route, even though they've already kind of been that way for a while. They went way deep down the, I wouldn't even call it a rabbit hole, I call it the crap hole, the toilet bowl hole. But anyway, I'm getting back into this because Replicant Fish and Poor Man Podcast inspired me to get back in and do some RedPill videos. Now, Replicant Fish is MGTOW, where the other guy, Poor Man Podcast, he's kind of both, but not really MGTOW, because he's more RedPill. Now, RedPill is not MGTOW, although MGTOW is RedPill, if that makes sense. So, RedPill basically means being awake. You know, it started actually before the Matrix, but the Matrix is what made it famous. It's got it popular. And so, if you want to stay in bliss and you want to stay ignorant, if you want to stay a sheeple, then you take the blue pill. If you want to be awake, be a freedom fighter, be a patriot, a true patriot, not this bull crap they brainwash you into thinking patriots are, then you take the red pill. And that's what the red pill is. A woman made a movie, documentary called Red Pill. And basically, because she woke up, she was a feminist, and she started interviewing these male rights activists, and she was doing the documentary, but she started out doing the documentary as a feminist minded, and she was going to go after these male right movements and whatnot in her documentary. And during her research and everything, putting this documentary together, she woke up and she realized she was originally on the wrong path, and now she was starting to figure out that what the right path was, you know, or more so what the right path was. You know, she may not be 100% on point, but, you know, she's awake now, where before she was asleep. And so, that kind of helped spawn the Red Pill movement for MGTOW, and the male rights activists. And so now, I think because of that, they're starting to say, hey, we're Red Pill too. And they are. But, you know, they're kind of taking over the Red Pill name, kind of like the LGBT community took over the rainbow. And other scenarios. So MGTOW is Red Pill, but Red Pill is not MGTOW, if that makes sense. So if you're a freedom fighter, you're a conspiracy theorist who actually tries to validify the conspiracy theories and weed out the BS, then you would be red pill. You know, basically, if you're awake, you're not a sheep. So that's what that was. What is the red pill? What is the red pill and why so many MGTOW got it wrong? Now, I watched this video here, and the first one, red pill is not MGTOW, and that's another thing that kind of got me inspired to do this, because he actually has it wrong also. He's still referring to red pill as being somewhat like MGTOW, but, you know, relationship oriented. And it's not just relationship oriented, it's just being awake in general. And so his video's a little off as well, but for the most part he's on point. So a lot of these MGTOW people call themselves here's the red pill movie. This is the girl I was talking about. Now let's take out the MGTOW part and see what we get. The movie. Dating. See, these people are taking over the red pill concept, but basically, here it is.
You gotta win this game and get our son back.
Go big. For family.
Aren't you supposed to be good at this?
Space Jam, rated PG. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So basically, red pill represents being awake, waking up to the Matrix. Now, the Matrix may or may not be what it is in the movie in real life, but we don't know. And but nonetheless, the movie The Matrix represents all the BS that's around us, and the red pill represents waking up from the lies and the secrecy and blah blah blah. And I've kind of been awake, I wouldn't say my whole life. When I grew up, you know, my father was in the military, my grandfathers, both of them were in the military, and I believe their fathers before them were in the military, and I and my brother was going to join the military as well. Needless to say, neither one of us did, although we call ourselves members of the Standing Army, the We the People Army, the Freedom Fighters, patriots, the true patriots, what the New World Order would label as a terrorist. But my grandfather, my mom's father, was the one, I believe, who started waking me up. Whenever, I think one of the first things I remember is when I couldn't join the military because I was previously suicidal, and they didn't want that in the military, which is understandable to a degree. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll join the militia. Well, my grandfather told me, he says, you don't want to do that. You don't want to paint a target on your back. And I didn't understand what he meant at the time, but it stayed with me. So I never joined the militia. I kind of wish I did, but I didn't, right? So, he said a whole bunch of little things here and there that just kind of woke me up a little tiny bit at a time. I really wasn't awake until September 11th. September 11th really woke me up. That's when I more or less took the red pill, because I couldn't fathom that our own government could and would kill their own people, 30-some thousand people, bang, just like that. But I kept looking at the evidence, because, you know, there was both sides, and I kept looking at the evidence, 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 and the evidence was that it was not what the government was saying it was. And so my biggest question was, why is the government lying to us? You know? And all these people were saying the government was involved, and there was evidence to prove that that the government was involved. And there was evidence that it wasn't Afghanistan who attacked us. It was our own government, and they were just using it as an excuse to go to war and steal oil and resources. And it's a proven fact that, you know, war is like one of the biggest money makers in the world. So all the evidence was pointing at the government. And I wanted to believe the government, but the government was lying to us, trying to cover up the evidence, which made me believe the evidence even more and believe the government was lying to us. And so that's when I really started waking up, and I really started becoming a conspiracy theorist, and really started looking into all the different, stuff. So I would say that's when I took my red pill. And so I didn't really wake up to feminism till later. And basically found out that, I can't remember exactly if it was the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, but I think it was the Rockefellers that funded the feminist movement and made it the crap that it is today. So feminism started out to be a good thing. And then the Rockefellers got involved and destroyed it. And the media, blah, blah, blah. But the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and whoever else pretty much owns the media. So there you go. But, and of course, Bill Gates and Google and Facebook, they're controlling what we think. They're controlling the information that comes to us, all these big shots, these big gurus, and they're telling us what to think, they're telling us what to believe. Also, I guess I kind of started waking up too back in 1993 when my first wife this is before we got married, but my first wife and I were going to a Catholic church, and she, it's a long story, but she was kind of doing Catholicism, and so I was doing it too. I've always been a curious type. I like to seek knowledge and wisdom and whatnot. I'm always, interested in learning things. So we went to this Catholic church, and it was cool. It was interesting. It was one of those traditional ones where they actually do like exorcisms and all that, cool and weird stuff. So, but when going to this Catholic church, I noticed that there was 7 books in the Catholic Bible that was not in the Protestant Bible. And I kept asking questions. Why is this? Why is this? And nobody could answer my questions. Later, I found out why. But, that was another thing that started waking me up. I started asking questions. You need to ask questions. Don't just believe what people tell you. Don't just believe what I tell you. Fact check it. And don't just believe the fact checkers. Fact check the fact checkers, because those people don't know what they're talking about half the time. It's like one doctor/scientist said, these fact checkers are journalists. And he says, don't listen to the journalists, listen to the scientists. So just because a fact checker journalist said, oh, that's not true, because he or she was paid to say that wasn't true, listen to the scientists. Now, not all of them got it right either, because you got crazy scientists, you got evil scientists, and you got good scientists. So, you got to filter through all the Bravo Sierra. But nonetheless, be a conspiracy theorist and fact check everything yourself. Don't just believe what other people tell you to believe, whether they're left wing, right wing, or outer space wing. It doesn't matter. Always double, triple check everything. I don't always double, triple check everything, but I try to. So again, double, triple check everything that I say, because, I may not be 100% on point. But anyways, how do I go back? Here we go. That's not what I wanted. So I can move that up. There we go. We're 20 minutes in, and I don't know if I can do a 20-minute video on YouTube yet. But nonetheless, I'm going to be making more red pill videos. What do they call it? Reaction videos to other reaction videos, probably. And one of my favorite red pill people that is not MGTOW or relationship oriented, she does do some relationship stuff, but she's not solely relationship oriented, is What's Her Face. I don't know her real name, but that's what she goes by, as What's Her Face. So Jordan Peterson, he's really cool. I follow him. I follow a lot of his stuff. But anyways, I do a lot of educational things, and one thing that one of my favorite YouTubers said was, you know, you ask people if they want educational stuff, or if they want drama, or they want this, or they want that. Most of them say they want educational, but his educational stuff doesn't get any views, hardly. But his drama ones do. So he does more drama videos. And so he said something about putting in tidbits of the educational stuff in with the drama, mixing it up, so that he is passing on wisdom and knowledge and education in the drama video mix. And that way he's killing two birds with one stone, if you will. So that also kind of inspired me, because I've done a lot of educational videos, and some get good reviews, some get good views, some don't. And so now I'm just gonna kind of mix it up and kind of try and do all three, and see what happens. So there we go. I guess that's it for now. I'm kind of getting new to this. I've done a lot of YouTubes in the past. I did some editing with fancy editing programs. Oh, that's a funny one right there. And but I've been out of the loop. I got some I downloaded some apps on my phone. I'm playing with them right now. I found one I like, which I'm using right now. But I've got like 6 more that I gotta test out. So we'll test them out and see what happens. Alright, now let's see here. Yeah, alright, okay, bye.